the 13.
Where else are you going to make that kind of money? Huh?
Yeah, well, that's right. I think Rogers got a little pooped. He was running straight up with the ball that time.
Yeah, and Skins, you know, so far, Jack, have made 25 first downs. 13, Rogers has made 13 of those first downs.
191 yards for George Rogers.
Well, he only has then 15 yards to go, and he'll break his all-time rushing record of 206 yards. That was in 1983 against St. Louis.
Ball's at the 10. Second down and 7.
And look how deep he is. He's about 7 yards deep, and this is where he's really effective and very efficient when he's back there deep enough to see what's happening up front.
Fumble. And Schroeder got it back.
George that time missed a block on Freddie Joe Nunn, who was blitzing. Rogers looked like he was supposed to block and missed a block, and that's why we got the sack.
The third of the day against Schroeder. Duda and Nunn were in on the sack, and here comes Griffin in. I told you I thought Rogers was a little pooped, and he's gone out of the game east of the sideline.
Yeah, he was looking for the fire department.
The rescue truck.
That's right. You'll resuscitate it.
The ball's at the 14. Third down, 11. 9.5 left in the game. Little slant in, a little look-in pass, and it is incomplete. Incomplete to Didier, the big guy, and he's 6'5". Had trouble getting down to the deck, and Cedric Mack covered it.
I hate to belabor the point, but there again, it's amazing how many balls Schroeder throws falling away from the ball, doesn't it?
I was talking to Sonny Jurgensen about that.
Amazing.
He said he does it an awful lot.
I did the Eagle Redskin game 2 weeks ago, Hank, and I noticed him doing that a number of times. He has such a strong arm, he can get away with it more than most quarterbacks can.
Yeah, most of the time, but still in all, he doesn't get the ball on target like he should. That one's a little low because he hurt himself.
Moseley has made 2, missed 2, and misses another. A 32-yard miss, and Moseley is 2 out of 5, and the lead is still 11 points. Well, Moseley is now 22 out of 34 for the year. Missed his third of the day. Ordinarily, with this score, you'd say the Cardinals still have a good chance. But the way they've been failing to move the ball on offense.
Look at Mosley's reaction, Jack. Look at Moseley.
That's his third miss of the day. He's not used to that.
No, I can't believe it.
And he's such a proud guy.
Yeah.
Boy, it hurts when he misses a kick.
Yeah. There'll be speculation about him retiring, I'm sure.
He's made only 2 out of his last 7. He ought to come kick for the Cardinals, where they've been doing. Well, from the 20-yard line. Mitchell gets knocked down, and with 9:18 left, the Redskins say, run the ball all you want, fellas.
And talking about kickers, Jan Stenerud is going to kick his last kick tomorrow in a game with Minnesota. You'll see that game.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. But, boy, what a great kicker he's been through the years.
Yeah.
I talked to him the other day. I tried to talk him into holding off. Don't say anything about retiring until you make sure. Wait till the spring to make that decision.
Yeah.
But he said, no, Coach. He said, I think it's over.
He's got a lot of pride.
Yeah, he's a very proud guy. And the fact that he missed 4 field goals last week, or 3 field goals and an extra point, really hurt him.
Second and 11. Mitchell makes it short of a first down by a narrow margin. Third down coming up. Tomorrow, another full schedule, and at 12:30 Eastern Time, the NFL Today, and they're going to speculate on coaching changes in the NFL. Summarize the playoff picture for you. Irv Cross will be in San Francisco to set the stage for that Dallas 49er game, which you'll see on CBS tomorrow. Third down and a foot. The Cardinals have made a first down only once in 10 tries. And now they get motion from Wolfley, and that'll make it third down and 6.
That's the second time that's happened in this game.
Isn't that something?
Yep.
I don't know whether you blame the individual involved or you blame the coaching or what you do, but everything seems to crumble for this team.
Well, this late in the season, you have those...
Still third down.
Those kind of mistakes, Jack, it's got to be concentration.
Oh, yeah.
There's got to be a lack of concentration,
yeah.
you know.
That's the second time in short yardage, as you already stated. But, you know, what happens, a team has great expectations. They report training camp, they get the season going, they expect to be a playoff team, and when they see that not develop, I think the attitude changes and affects performance week in and week out.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dick. That's the worst situation in the world. They have high hopes and expectations and never fulfill them.
Yeah.
That's murder.
Third down and 6. Ernest Gray is the additional wide receiver. Ball batted down by Green, intended for Green. Darrell Green knocked it down. There's George Rogers, who's had a big rushing day here today, and he's gone over 1,000 yards for the 3rd season during his career.
He'll sleep well tonight.
Yeah, I know. He came into this ball game with 7 runs over 25 yards. 30 rushes for 191 yards, 1 touchdown. He's earned his paycheck today.
Birdsong will punt to Darrell Green. The Redskins will get the ball. They lead by 11. Well, they still have a chance. They'll count on the Cowboys knocking off the 49ers. Good punt by Birdsong. Green well covered. Gets away from 2 guys. Taken down from behind at the 40. Now Washington wants to knock off some of the 7:16 left in this game. That's all. Redskins have an 11-point lead and the ball. Ron Wolfe, number 24, knows that he messed up a moment ago, Hank. He feels badly about it.
Yeah, but the thing about Wolfe, a guy like him, you know, every mistake or any mistake he makes is an honest mistake. You know, Dick, he's trying all the time, hustling all the time. He's going to be a big asset to this football team in the years to come.
Well, Rogers again. Might as well get 200 while you're about it, George. He got about a yard or so. The actual attendance here today was 28,090. Curtis Greer just made that tackle, number 75. They sold about 45,000 tickets, but they had 28,000 here, and a lot of those people have left. We told you about Greer, number 75, the right defensive end. He's going to have a knee operation on Monday. He's had a struggling year because of that bad knee. Schroeder throw it? Nope. Well, they're getting to Rogers a little bit now. It's going to be 3rd down and long. You know, as we wish you a Merry Christmas from CBS, we certainly are doing so without forgetting about the families affected by that terrible tragedy, the crash of the people in the 101st Airborne Division. And our thoughts go out to them. It is 3rd down coming up here, 3rd and 7. That's a terrible thing, wasn't it, Dick?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, and I used to think losing a football game was tragic, you know?
It puts it all in the right perspective, doesn't it?
3rd down here, 3rd and 7. He's there. Whoa, what a catch. What a catch by Gary Clark.
He is a pistol, isn't he? Huh?
He is something.
Hank, these Redskins didn't go start perking till he got here.
Washington bump and run without a bump, and look at Washington trying to catch him from the backside. Runs right by him, and he catches the ball at the end of the ball that time.
Yeah, in all fairness,
sensational catch.
In all fairness to Lionel Washington, he's just coming off a broken fibula, and he can't run like he could.
Now, he said that yesterday. Not 100% yet. Look at now. Watch Schroeder.
Good protection.
Pushes off the right foot. Excellent pass protection. Plenty of time to throw the ball. And Reedy, a beautiful shot and a great catch by Gary Clark, number 84.
He's caught 8 passes today and 1 for a touchdown. Pretty good throw by Schroeder, too, wasn't it? Here comes Rogers. He's down to about the 12-yard line. And the Cardinal bench along the sideline has been a terrible year, punctuated by another loss here on the final weekend.
You know, there are a lot of football fans that don't realize how much pro football players really care about winning. You know, they think they only play because they make the big money and all that stuff. These guys on Sunday don't think about how much money they're making. They think about trying to win, and when they don't, it really hurts.
ball is at the 12. It's 2nd and 4. I guess Rogers is trying for 200 now. Can he accelerate?
And he loves to run right. Boy,
Yeah.
he feels much better running to the right. You can see it when he runs.
It's 1st and goal. We'll let you know when he reaches the 200-yard mark, which he may do. He wants a little breather here now.
He said he feels a lot faster on the AstroTurf than he does on the natural grass.
Washington 1st and goal.
There's Joe Bostic. He's in the middle of things here because he's the player rep. And you know that the Cardinals wanted the players to take a physical, including a urinalysis, the postseason event. And they said, well, the season isn't over yet. We're not going to do it. 7 of them said they would, but the others wouldn't, and Bostic's in the middle of it. 1st and goal. 206 yards for Rogers. And now Keith Griffin gets about half of that. There are 2 Bostics playing, you know, the center for the Redskins and the guard for the Cardinals. The older brother is Joe. One of them is going to, well, maybe both of them will be out of the playoffs at Christmas. We don't know.
Their parents are here, and they just root for the offensive teams. They don't root for the total unit or total organization. They just root for each offensive team to play well.
I thought one side on one side of the field, the other one on the other one, just to make sure there wasn't any prejudice.
2nd and goal inside the 3.
See if they follow Highway 66 and 68 here.
Yeah.
No, they're going the other way.
Griffin. He did not get in. Watch it. The reason I was laughing, I watched Jim Tunney, the referee, ducked his head. He said, let me out of here, man.
Look at Jacoby. He steps in amongst those guys. He's a whole helmet taller than the rest of them. And I would stop fighting as soon as he got around me, too. Wouldn't you, Hank?
Yeah, sure would. That's a good sign to stop it all.
Pretty good move by Tunney to get his head out of the way, man. He ducked in a hurry. Jeff Bostic's in the middle of this.
There you see Nico Noga, and there you see 53, Bostic. He gets a shove out of the picture, then he pushes back. It's a little taffy pull there. Boys will be boys, you know.
3rd down and goal. Griffin. And a touchdown for the Redskins. The score is 26-9. You know, the Cardinals got all of their points in the 1st quarter, got off to a 9-0 lead. And Hannafin says, well, here's a little more I have to swallow.
You know, Hannafin and Joe Gibbs are old friends and go back coaching together all the way at San Diego State. Then here at St. Louis Cardinals.
Those stories that Hannafin told the other day, were priceless, weren't they?
Nobody can tell stories any better than Jim Hannafin. And, you know, he's such an honest, sincere guy. And does he ever care? Holy mackerel.
And there's Nico Noga, the linebacker, number 57, who is shaken up, and Leonard Smith is yelling for Charlie Baker to get out there on the field.
Nico Noga played for an ex-assistant coach of mine at UCLA at the University of Hawaii, Dick Tomey. And Dick told me, he said, this guy is a real player. And I think he actually thinks he'd play better inside than he would outside.
You know, talking to him about 2 weeks ago, we asked him what he was going to do in the offseason to get ready for next season.
Moseley makes it 27-9. Well, you know that these Redskins got off to a very slow start, whereas the Cardinals were 3-1. The Redskins were 1-3.
Right.
And now they have a record of 9-6, and this will make it 10-6.
You know, and I was on the practice field of the Redskin training camp one day and watched them practice, and I left there saying, that's as impressive a football practice as I've ever seen. This football team will win 13, 14 games. I felt that. I really did. And they all of a sudden, Cowboys, remember, got after them something viciously in that first ball game. They just couldn't get going early.
I think they stunned them a little bit. I don't think they expected that. I think they had beaten the Cowboys prior to that game, 4 or 5 times? I forget how many.
They had beaten them. I
don't know what the number was, and I think it was kind of a shock for them, and I think it took a little time to recover from that shock, and then when they went to Chicago and get bombed again, then they really started to scratch their head a little bit and try to figure out what was happening.
Yeah.
They can win when they're on the road, too. This will be their 5th road win, and they'll be 21-8 of their most recent road games. This fellow does a good job of coaching them. There's the Cardinal bench.
They've won 24 straight games when a running back has rushed for 100 yards or more. And here we have Rodgers going for 200. They ought to win 2 games on that, shouldn't they?
They'll double dip.
Double dip, yeah.
You know, one thing you never hear Hannafin do, you never hear him rip a player. He never says so-and-so is bad or so-and-so did this. They say the team didn't play well, but he protects his players as best he can. Here's a squib kick. Washington recovered one of these earlier. It's picked up by Wolfley. He can't get outside. He can't get to the 20-yard line. And the running back, special teams player, Reggie Branch, got down there and made the tackle at the 2-minute mark. The Redskins are home free here, leading 27-9. Kobe, it looks like Hot Springs, Arkansas, with the steam coming off of his head.
You know, Joe Jacoby's 6'7", 305 pounds. His wife, Irene, is 6'1". Can you imagine the young offensive tackles they're going to raise?
Yeah.
Second half of the season, the Redskins under Joe Gibbs have always finished very strongly. In '82, it only totaled 7 games because of the strike. They are strong at the tail end of the year, and if they get into the playoffs, they'll acquit themselves very well.
You bet. I think the same thing of the 49ers. If they make it in there, watch out.
There's George Rogers. He had a big day. He went over the 200-yard mark, 2:06, and 1 touchdown.
He's got a great smile.
He fumbled.
It lights up like a Christmas tree.
Fumbled earlier in the game, but then came back and had a strong contest. Lomax is 16 out of 24, but he's been sacked 4 times. The inside handoff to Mitchell. I want to tell you something, folks. There is no harder worker in football than this little guy, Stump Mitchell. He's only 5'9".
You know, he needed 124 yards coming into this ball game to go to 1,000. I wonder what he's got.
I think he's still a little short.
Watch Doug Dawson on a trap block on the outside. Look at the big hole. He finds plenty of running room. Green downfield trying to make a block. He straight arms Darrell Green, goes down the far side of the field, and is finally caught by Darrell Green the second time around.
And that gives him 1,000. He got 129 yards, and he's over 1,000 yards. And brother, I know the kid pretty well, and they love him. That was a 64-yard run. We have 1:28 left. Look at the affection they have for little Stump Mitchell. In a losing effort, Stump Mitchell has gone over the 1,000-yard mark this year, and you can tell how much they like him on this squad, Hank.
I can't understand why people call him Stump instead of Livonia. That's his real name. That's his first name, you know.
It's a first down at the 18-yard line of Washington. And Lomax runs, fakes, runs, get out of bounds, first and goal.
He has a different dimension to the offense when he does that. You know, Dick, he hasn't done it hardly at all during the course of the season. But when when you talk to teams who are going to play the Cardinals, they all say, well, the one thing we got to do is keep him in the pocket.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't run, then you don't have to worry about keeping him in the pocket. And there was a great demonstration of it. Of course, I know now that, the game's over for all practical purposes, and they're playing back and playing soft, but still, everybody on the offense is defense except one guy, as you know, Dick, and if he can run, he creates a lot of problems.
First and goal at the 4. Not that time. Darrell Green wouldn't let Roy Green get behind him.
The side judge was open. He almost hit him that time.
1:16 remaining. They bring in Ernest Gray for the Cardinals. Really tough, Dick Vermeil, to run against these Redskins in the goal line situation.
They are tough to run on anywhere. They've only given up 105 yards a game rushing. They have forced people to move the ball 151 yards per touchdown or run 32 plays per touchdown. That's a lot. No, that's a real efficient defense.
Second and goal.
And they make a play in a very long field, too.
Yes, that's right.
3 wide receivers. Gray in motion. Lomax hits Gray, and he is taken out of bounds with a strong tackle by Wilburn. Barry Wilburn out of Mississippi. Gray's a pretty pretty good-sized fellow at 6'3" and 195, but Wilburn handled him okay.
Yeah, he did. He was, no, Wilburn, you know, this kid, he was a National Honor Society student, this guy.
Well, he's
It's nice to have
smarter
those
than I
guys
am.
with brains in the secondary.
He's smarter than I am, if he was.
Me too.
Got to be careful not smarter than the coach, though. That's probably a thing you have to worry about.
44 seconds left in the game, clock running. And the ball knocked down at the last moment by Malott, the linebacker. And it is 4th down. It was 1st and goal at the 4. Now it's 4th down. Intended for Roy Green. Hannafin would like to see his squad get in there. They haven't scored since the first quarter. And he sends in Clyde Duncan. There's a big part of the Cardinals story. Duncan was the #1 draft pick a year ago. He's caught 3 balls in 2 years.
I wonder what that is, dollar per catch.
He's number 86, and he goes to the left. They signed him, and then they signed him and found out he couldn't catch the ball.
Everybody makes mistakes. The only guy that doesn't make a mistake in the draft, the guy that never drafts anybody.
You run it in, kid. Now you may or may not. Touchdown. And that was to Duncan, and that's his first professional touchdown. That's the first professional touchdown for Clyde Duncan out of Tennessee, #1 draft pick 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was sliding around in the end zone that time, Jack, and finally popped wide open.
Yeah.
And Lomax saw him as he ran over to the left side. But he's happy about that. Even though it's just this time of the year, in the last game of the season, he's still happy about making his first touchdown catch. Here he is, looking to the right, up the middle, then breaks to the left, jumps to the outside, and there he hits him. Wide open in the end zone for the touchdown.
With 27 seconds left in the game. And Bojovic makes it 27-16. 27 seconds left. The executive producer, CBS Sports, is Terry O'Neill. Senior producer, Charles Milton. Produced today by Robert Stenner. Our director, Robert Fishman. Associate producers, Michael Burks and Mark Wolf. Field technical manager, Wilbur Allmeyer. Broadcast associates, Pierce O'Neill and Greg Callender. And others involved in our telecast, and all of these folks, as well as those of us up here in the booth, wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. Please be careful with that driving. Let the non-drinkers drive the car. And be sure to tune in tomorrow for NFL football in your area. Check the local listing, and everybody gets to see the Cowboys at Candlestick Park against the 49ers. The Redskins have won here, but in order for them to get
Cowboys to play a super game when they've already clinched everything, you go in there thinking, should I play my top running back? Should Dorsett carry the ball more than 10 times? Should I, you know, all the different positions, you're worried about a guy getting hurt. Isn't that right, Hank?
Yeah, I think so. Plus the fact, you know, Dick, you don't know who's going to play quarterback there for the Cowboys tomorrow. You don't know who that's going to be.
Here's the onside kick try. Who has the ball? Cardinals tried that earlier in the game when they were leading by the score of 9-0. And it kind of changed this one around to the point the Redskins led at the half 13-9. And the Cardinals, who scored 9 in the first quarter, didn't score until a moment ago. Jim Tunney is the referee here today. Ordinarily, these crew of officials exchange gifts at Christmas time, but not on this trip. Tunney and his fellow officials invited some kids to the football game, some disadvantaged kids from the area, took them to breakfast this morning, brought them to the stadium, got them some little gifts, caps and so forth, and a very nice Christmas approach by the officials here today.
Yeah, very thoughtful and a great gesture on their part. Terrific.
They were never that nice to me when I was coaching, Hank.
No.
Dick Vermeil, on behalf of Hank Stram, nice to have you with us, and we'll be together on a future playoff game this year.
Well, look forward to it.
Actually, it'll be next year, 1986. Yeah. The final score, 27-16, as the Redskins have won an additional game. The Cardinals finished 5-11, the Redskins 10-6, but the Redskins may not get into the playoffs.